Love your show. Now that Starmer has recognised Palestine as a state, do we have to have a Palestinian embassy? Well, the weird thing about it, Deanne, is that there already is a Palestinian embassy because they were already celebrating last night in London at the Palestinian embassy. So it's rather weird, isn't it? Sharon says, morning, Mike. It's about time that Fergie's been found out. She continues to exploit the royal family. I can't understand why Charles has got her living on the Windsor estate at the cost of taxpayers, says Sharon from Staffordshire. Well, we've got just the person to ask about that. And it is, of course, Angela Levin, royal biographer, front page of the Daily Mail today. Will the King now banish Fergie after she was dumped by 7 separate charities yesterday over emails that were discovered that she'd sent to the convicted paedophile Jeffrey Epstein? Angela, very good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good to see you. This is a pretty bad day for Fergie, isn't it? I mean, after all of the various scandals she's been involved in, going all the way back to Johnny Bryan and the toe-sucking and all the rest of it with Prince Andrew and the divorce and everything else that's been going on. I mean, this is about as bad as it gets, isn't it?
It's worse than as bad as it gets. It's shocking, actually. When you read what's happened, it turns your stomach because one time she says, "Oh, I really, you're the best friend." What is it? You know,
supreme
you're
friend
to me. Thank you very much. Steadfast, generous, and supreme friend. And that's just a little bit after she said she would have no more contact with him. So that's the worst thing, isn't it? When you actually know you're doing completely wrong.
Yeah.
And especially that she's done a lot of work with children and things like that. And your stomach sort of goes, doesn't it?
It really does. And there's pictures of her today in the Mail with very, very close relationships with some of Jeffrey Epstein's employees. They've got her smiling gestures posing with Jojo Fontanilla, who is Epstein's driver, and Junlin Fontanilla, his housekeeper, at his New York mansion. The pictures were posted on Facebook in 2010, but could have been taken earlier. One commentator posted under the images, "Wow, you're in the company of royalty." Some suggestions as well by the author Andrew Lowney that she didn't just borrow £15,000 from him; she borrowed £2 million.
Oh, really? That's just dreadful.
Yeah.
Well, she was owing £5 million. She was so out of money that she was desperate, and that's how she stayed with him for a while, because she knew that she would do anything to get the money. This is the second time she has been had no money twice, and actually doesn't give a very good impression to her children.
It really doesn't. And they've got a rather curious situation, haven't they, where Prince Andrew and Fergie share the same house in that lodge on the Windsor estate. And they don't apparently share a room. They have separate rooms, but there's 30-odd rooms in the place. I mean, the question on the front of the Daily Mail is, will the King now banish her? Do you think he might?
Well, yes, I do think so, because he's really wanted to get rid of Andrew because it's a huge house and he hasn't looked after it.
Right.
And apparently she has been providing all the money because he's actually pretty broke as well, and he can't get people to give him work. Quite rightly so, I think. And so it's going to be very difficult for them to keep up anything there. And so this is King Charles's opportunity to move them out. I don't see why they're there anyway, because neither of the children want to stay there either.
Right.
So you've got this enormous building that actually is full of nothing.
Right. Where would they go, though?
Well, they could go to the one that Harry and Meghan had, you know, a small place with sort of 3 or 4 bedrooms.
Frogmore.
Yes, and they could have that. I mean, King Charles has actually asked them several times if they'd do that, but Andrew thinks it's demeaning.
Right.
Well, this is more demeaning, isn't it, by a long way?
Well, I mean, you know, it's bad enough to have him scandal-ridden, but now she's scandal-ridden. I mean, to have 7 charities drop her on the very same afternoon, it's pretty awful.
Shall I read them? There's the Teenage
Yes.
Trust, British Heart Foundation, Julia's House, which is a children's hospice, Children's Literary Charity, Prevent Breast Cancer. Yes, that's it. No, National Foundation for Retired Service Animals.
Yeah.
These are all the things that she's been a patron of. Well, you can't have that because it just makes the whole place stink, doesn't it?
Well, exactly.
You can't have someone like that who's saying how glorious this man was. You know, you can't do it. But the other thing that's very interesting is that Prince Philip wouldn't have her anywhere near them.
No.
Christmas, Easter, he just refused it. Whereas the late Queen actually quite liked her because she's jolly and laughable
Yes.
and all that. But he was right. Absolutely. For
Right.
over 20 years, she couldn't come on Christmas or Easter. And she had to stay away where the children could come, but not her. And now, once once he had died, the late Queen invited her because she felt sorry for her.
Right.
I think that was going to end now.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be a sort of Sandringham this Christmas, are they?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be pretty awful. It's all very embarrassing. Angela, good to see you. Thank you very much indeed. Angela Levin, their royal biographer, about the embarrassment of Fergie, who's on the front pages this morning, because 7 separate charities have basically axed her and their connection with her because of her emails to Jeffrey Epstein. It puts further pressure on the King to expunge Sarah Ferguson, it says here in the Mail, and her ex-husband from even private family events, and finally find a way to evict them from Royal Lodge. She describes Epstein as a supreme friend. She humbly apologised for an interview in which she disowned him after a £15,000 loan he gave her came to light, which we don't think she ever actually paid back, by the way. But as I say, others think that perhaps the money that he got to give her was even more than £15,000, and according to Andrew Lowney, who's writing in the Mail today, it could be as much as £2 million that he was giving her. Absolutely extraordinary. Lash says this: love your show. Regarding soppy Starmer's decision to recognise Palestine and that medieval cult Hamas, I think there is a sickening side effect no one is talking about. It legitimises the pro-Palestine marches we have endured over the past year, and it may well significantly undermine the ability to prosecute Hamas supporters in this country. Honestly, Mike, I feel sick to my stomach. And Tim in Taunton says Starmer's wife is Jewish, which means his kids are Jewish. Looks like happy families in the Starmer household. Well, he's getting a lot of flack this morning, Keir Starmer, because not only yesterday was there the aftermath of his allowing Palestine to get recognition as a country, as a state, by the UK, but he also then went out and wished all Jewish people in Britain a happy New Year, a happy Rosh Hashanah, on the very same day as that had happened, which was absolutely extraordinary. This from Mick: I'm totally fed up and resent being gaslit and lied to by pathetic manufactured politicians and civil servants living in luxury off my back while I can't afford hot water and food. Don't blame you, Mick. Let's get a voice note from Len.
Morning, Mike. Len from Brighton. Yeah, Starmer. I mean, what is he all about? I mean, he's got to be off his rocker. After giving Hamas the victory, saying that he would recognise the Palestinian state, and then putting out a tweet saying he stands shoulder to shoulder with Jewish people across the country. Who the hell does he think he is? I mean, he's not just funny anymore. I think he's doing this on purpose.
Absolutely right. Len, thank you very much indeed. One here from Carol in Yorkshire. Kaz, in fact. I think an appropriate name for our disastrous Prime Minister would be Kim Jong-un, because like the despot, the wishes of the electorate are non-existent. Absolutely. Ryan from Southampton says, my wife has been here 10 years. She's from Poland. She works 2 jobs and we have a daughter. This indefinite leave to remain abolishment will most likely mean someone like my wife will have to leave if a reform government gets in, or have I got it wrong? I'm also a Reform member. Well, I spoke earlier to a Reform Assembly member, Alex Wilson, and I did ask him about this because several of you have asked me the question, would it mean that people who have been living here for a long time from foreign parts and who have got indefinite leave to remain will be at some way at risk of being kicked out of the country? He says not. He says if you're living here and working here and you're contributing to the system, then you would always be welcome. And I think that's as it should be. One here from Kelly, who says, my husband is working as a commercial floor layer today in Oxford Street at a well-known brand. He's had to arrive there for 5:30 a.m. to unload his van, and then he will have to drive miles away to park it and walk back, then work a long day to do it all again after hours. Khan clearly hasn't thought this through. No, he clearly hasn't. I mean, the thing is, mostly Oxford Street is a pedestrian precinct, effectively. There are taxis that go down it, there are buses that go down it, but there are not many cars that go down it, certainly for the most part of it, between, you know, sort of Selfridges and Oxford Circus. That's kind of the main part of it. And so what he's done, to say he wants to pedestrianise it, is not really make that much of a difference, to be honest. But I can't imagine how difficult it is to deliver stuff there, because you just simply can't park anywhere either. That's the problem with London.